for you.
Hello and welcome to a sunny but very windy Northwest for our next instalment of a heavyweight clash in the WSL. 4 teams have been going toe-to-toe all season, each taking it in turns to knock each other off their perch.
Arsenal, Manchester United, first against third. Zellum's delivery is good. Oh, it's 2-2. It's in again. It's Alessia Russo. Arsenal's winning run is over. Brings it down superbly, and she scores brilliantly. The champions are back on top of the table.
There is no room for error. Frustration's boiling over a little. Temp! And it's 2! A result that blows the race for the WSL title wide open.
There's the lead for Manchester City. Arsenal are back in the game. Shot is driven in, and what a goal it is! And Arsenal strike another blow in this topsy-turvy title race.
Yes, with just a handful of games left, all 4 are still left standing. The latest sucker punch thrown by Arsenal, which ended Manchester City's 6-month unbeaten run. In fact, the Gunners' own resurgence is the reason we're here tonight, because this game has been moved to accommodate their Champions League semi-final. Tonight's hosts, meanwhile, lead the way. Manchester United top the table by a point, having played a game more than Chelsea. Arsenal can draw level at the top, however, if they win tonight. It's a game the phrase 6-pointer could have been coined for. Defeat for either will be potentially a fatal blow to their title chances. It's Manchester United against Arsenal, and kickoff is 10 minutes away. And big games demand big names, so they're out tonight. It is Farrah Williams and Gilly Flaherty. 23 major trophies between you. Farrah, I'm not going to say who has the most, right? People can got that. But let's start. Look, it's a huge, huge game, Farrah. You've played in many in your career. Manchester United on for the domestic double. 5 games left, but this is where you feel the pressure as a player.
Yeah, there is pressure, you know, being at the top and being in the position that Man United are in, but I think they'd much rather the position they're in this season, coming to the back end of it, rather than what they was in last season, really needed the points to qualify for the Champions League. I think they're in a better position to do that this year, and their first domestic cup final, FA Cup final at Wembley. So I'm sure Mark Skinner and the players will be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge moment for them. Gilly, let's talk about Arsenal, because they're missing some key players. Kim Little out for the rest of the season. They've got no Katie McCabe today. Is this where you need other leaders and other players to step up?
Yeah, and I think losing a player like Kim Little, especially with the stages they're at in the Champions League and obviously coming to the business end of the season, is difficult. But it is a chance now for other players to step up. We've seen it this season, obviously Miedemar and Mead being out injured. Other players, Marnham, have stepped up and took responsibility. So it's a chance now for someone else to come in and lead the way.
OK, well, in Arsenal midfield, they do have their birthday girl, Leah Walty, and ever present in that midfield. Meanwhile, Manchester United do make 2 changes to their starting lineup today, with Nikita Paris coming back in. Let's get over to Jo Curry. She's speaking with both of the managers.
Well, Mark, following on from that wonderful FA Cup semi-final at the weekend, how easy has it been to bring your players down from that and go again tonight in the league?
To be fair, I think there was muted celebration after the game, just based on the enormity of the task ahead. So yeah, it was pretty easy. They're quite a focused group, so we knew how we have to prepare for tonight, and so the players were really focused and only pretty easy.
You said that wasn't the ideal game from United. You've made 2 changes tonight. Nikita Parris and Aoife Mannion come in. How much of those changes are about trying to get a more improved performance?
Yeah, I think there's more about a little bit of freshness in the right areas. The players coming in have got wonderful abilities, as we have in this wonderful squad. So, yeah, we're just looking at slight tweaks tonight, and that's really all it is. But the other players on the bench ready to come in and make a difference.
Well, Jonas, of course, disappointing news this week with the fact that Kim Little will now be out for the rest of the season. Leah Williamson starts in the centre of midfield tonight, but what knock-on effect across the rest of the team does Kim's absence have?
Of course, we're missing a great football player and a great leader, but Kim is with us with a lot of things here off the pitch. She's traveling with the team, she's supporting the team, and we have shown so far during the season that other players have been able to step up. Of course, it's a challenge. We can't take that for granted, but we have to do our very best today again.
Yeah, good to hear from the managers there. Actually, Farah, only Chelsea and Manchester City have managed to do the double over Arsenal in the WSL since it first started. So actually, they are coming into this feeling confident.
Yeah, I think Arsenal will be confident. I know they've got a lot of injuries. Man United have gone pretty much the whole season with very few injuries, so they're certainly doing something right. We've seen the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea and Arsenal all suffer with big injuries, but they'll be confident. They've got a strong squad and they're in form.
Yeah, well, as you can see, the players are on the way out. We've got a strong crowd here this evening for this game. We're moments from kickoff. Let's get you over to our commentary team this evening. Rachel Brown-Finnis is alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thanks, Alex. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest chapter of this gripping WSL title race. Manchester United, the hosts, are on the brink of history. A Wembley date with Chelsea awaits next month in the club's first FA Cup final. They sit in pole position in the league, a point clear at the top. Will it be glory this season and a first major trophy, or a galling near miss? Arsenal wrote the book when it comes to history in the women's game in England. 46 major honours have adorned their trophy cabinet over the years, the most recent, the League Cup this season. A win tonight would take them level on points with United at the top, having played a game fewer, and they have European success in their sights as well, with a Champions League semi-final against the reigning German champions Wolfsburg to come. But tonight, it's all about the WSL. Which way will the title race twist? Aoife Mannion makes her first start for Manchester United in over a year following her ACL injury. England winger Nikita Parris, who joined United from Arsenal last summer, also comes in. Millie Turner and Lucia Garcia drop to the bench in Mark Skinner's 2 changes from the side that beat Brighton here on Saturday to reach that first FA Cup final. Arsenal, who are riven by injuries to key players, make 3 changes. Regular number 1 Manuela Zinsberger returns in goal. 19-year-old Katrina Kuhl makes her first WSL start in for the injured Caitlin Ford, while Laura Wienreuter replaces the suspended Katie McCabe. It was confirmed this week that captain Kim Little will miss the rest of the season with a hamstring injury. Mead and Miedemar remain long-term absentees. Well, delighted to have Rachel Brown-Finnis alongside me for this one. And that woman there, Alessia Russo, had things gone differently in the January transfer window, could have been lining up for Arsenal this evening. 2 world record bids from the Gunners, rejected by Manchester United. She's key to everything they do.
Absolutely is, linking up as she did in the summer with the Lionesses, with Ella Toone so many times, and so deadly and so effective, and one of the key reasons why Manchester United do top the table at this stage of the season. Their top goal scorer hanging on by a fingernails, as you mentioned, in that window. Arsenal with a cheeky late bid to try and take her services.
And the irony there, Stina Blackstenius, had Russo gone to Arsenal, might not be starting here against Manchester United, might not be about to get us underway, and might not be in the brilliant form that she's in at the moment for Arsenal, their top scorer this season.
Yeah, and she causes havoc up top for Arsenal, albeit Miedemar and Mead out. She's gotten over what potentially could have been a disappointment in that late charge for Alessia Russo.
So both sets of players taking the knee at the start of this match. The message against racism still clear. So Arsenal in their changed strip getting us underway. A reminder, a win for Manchester United would give them a 4-point cushion at the top of the Women's Super League, although second place Chelsea would have 2 games in hand. Victory for Arsenal would move them level on points with United, having played a game fewer as well. So much at stake for both of these sides.
It's a huge one, isn't it? With everything that's at stake at business end of the season, United with the cup final, FA Cup final at Wembley, and Arsenal with the Champions League this weekend. We need to have full sights on this game tonight.
Tombs squeezing it forwards. Manchester United looking dangerous early doors. Putting by Williamson, starting in midfield, and you would think that she will stay there for the rest of the season with Kim Little out. It is a huge absence for them.
Monumental.
There goes Ella Toone looking for Galton. They're in very good form at the moment. Valti runs into trouble.
Kim Little misses Arsenal, isn't she? In the second spell at the club. Has won so many trophies with Arsenal. Her experience, her leadership, as well as her skill set, will be sorely missed by the players, but they have to adapt. This is when those real trials happen late on in the season.
Veen Royson, Leonardson Morning, fine pull over. Blundell though saw the channel back to Mary Earps disappearing.
And albeit for a short amount of time, they'll miss Katie McCabe today. Suspended.
Pulover's delivery over the head of Blackstenius, dealt with rather awkwardly by Manchester United, who eventually will play their way out of trouble. Russo. Leonardson Morning against Hayley Ladd and gets past her. Leonardson Morning's delivery away by Mannion, joined in by Valti, comes to Toone. Here goes Nikita Parris. Want to prove against her former side and almost fed Galton. Zinsberger is there.
She's trying to put it on the left foot because Leah Galton's a left-footed player, but she needed to find the space and go a little more central. Take a tiny bit off, and you see how frustrated she is. And there's that dynamic duo for Arsenal, Kim Little on the left, Katie McCabe, who's chomping at the bit to get back out there. She's that catalyst, isn't she? That engine up and down the left-hand side. Adds a lot of bite to the game for Arsenal.
Yeah, missing this game through suspension. Katie McCabe scored the winner in their last match against Manchester City. Stunning goal it was as well.
Yeah, she doesn't score tap-ins, does she, Katie McCabe? Brilliant to have in the WSL.
Zen goes down quickly by Katrina Poole. Ruben Moyes stepping up, big end to the season for her as well. She'll be starting alongside Raffaelli. With Williamson moving up into midfield, you would think, for the rest of their campaign. And for Ruben Moy, that comes at exactly the right time to try and cement that place in Serena Wiegmann's World Cup squad.
Very true, and that's what football throws up, doesn't it? Goalkeeper position, or key positions that you wouldn't tend to change unless there was an injury. Ruben Moy will take this opportunity for 90 minutes week in, week out. Early chance, good ball from Pulova, just couldn't quite pick out Blackstenius in the middle. And shepherded well by Manchester United, who've looked in control at the back so far.
Here is Mannion. So good to see her back starting. A career that has been blighted by injuries. For Mannion, but prodigious talent nonetheless. Galton's delivery was a good one. Russo was in there. Ruben Moy will clear for Arsenal after. And past Leah Galton. Here is Mannion. Galton. Toone. Galton once more. Harrison Russo in the centre. Zinsberger had to watch it all the way.
Great pressing from Manchester United. Arsenal were in possession of the ball. They hassled them, they harried them. Leah Galton, Alessia Russo starting that press from the front three. Forced Arsenal into giving away possession, and then it's a quick turnover. Expect a better ball, really. Love a little slip down the side there. But Galton, we talked about Russo being key to United's success. She's been an ever-present for Manchester United.
Here they come once more with Onabatia. So dangerous when she gets going like this. Picks out Zelem. Falls to Russo. Not too far away.
I think she had more time than what she thought there, because she had to attack the ball at a very acute angle, almost going 90 degrees and trying to wrap a ball around the foot. See here, she's just really clever. Drops out onto the edge of the box, finds herself in a bit of space. Could she have just angled the body a little bit more goalwards? She'll be frustrated she didn't make more of that.
Well, she scored the added time winner at the Emirates in November, Alessia Russo. What a thriller that was between Manchester United and Arsenal. 2 late goals for United that day. And then the 3 points.
That was the moment they put their marker in the sand, wasn't it? Because for the 4 seasons that they've been in the WSL, they struggled to knock any of those top 3 sides. What a place to do at the Emirates.
Yeah, just 2 victories in 19 games against the WSL's big 3 of Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester City for Manchester United. Both of those wins have come against Arsenal. Letizia.
They had a lot of progress under Mark Skinner, haven't they? Scored more goals, conceded fewer goals this season than ever before. And fully justify their position.
Well, they've had near misses, haven't they, in terms of Champions League qualification, just the top 3 in the Women's Super League. Get that on next season. This season it's all about, there'll be near misses in terms of titles and trophies for Manchester United.
I remember being stood in a similar position at a similar time in the season, and Manchester United were top at Christmas last season, and it all faded away. They knew they didn't have the squad depth. They've certainly built on that.
Russo won't find Paris with the Moy away. Moritz to Kuhl. Pressured by Batia. United throw.
These Manchester United fans will be looking forward to seeing their superheroes at Wembley.
Russo's delivery, too strong for Galton.
You've got to remember that this fan base only didn't exist 4 years ago. 2018 I think it was that Manchester United formed. I remember being here at that first ever game when Lizzie Arnott scored Manchester United women's first ever goal. And to see them fighting for the title just 4 years on is simply splendid.
Yep, just their 5th season as a professional club after reforming Manchester United. Batia. Paris. Taking on Moritz. Zinsberger is there.
Saw that early. Zinsberger took a really good starter position. Knew it was a right footer. Knew it was more than likely going to be an outswinger. Can take a little extra step as a goalkeeper then. Been out for the last couple of games, Zinsberger, for Arsenal. D'Angelo has been in, but on the bench today.
Yeah, she missed the latest international break as well, Zinsberger, with Austria for personal reasons, so good to see her back in the side. But yes, D'Angelo has been given the nod as Zinsberger rotated in the last 2 WSL games, including that huge match against Manchester City. Here's Blackstenius. Balti, called by Leonardson Mornham. We'll come back to her. Now cool, Leonardson Mornham once more. Hassled by Paris. Leonardson Mornham up against Batia now. Let's get the ball across, but can't keep it in.
Good defending again. But Arsenal broke well, didn't they? Leonard and Mornham. And our picture there. But took good control of it, nice sharp passes. Found the space, held the space, got 1v1 against Badje, who's been outstanding. What a find she was a couple of seasons ago. Came in as a young, uncapped Spanish international at senior level, and now is established in the Spanish national team. They were hoping that she extends her contract at the end of this season, which is when it is up.
Yes, and that of Alessia Russo as well. That's why January was such a nervous time for Manchester United fans, because there was the question, if you're getting world record bids, yes, from a title rival, but for a player that's out of contract in 6 months, it is something you have to consider from a business perspective. But Manchester United certainly hoping that Russo decides to extend. But that is again why Champions League football is so key.
I think that's the decision. I don't know, but my inference of where she's at in her career, that if they do get Champions League football Manchester United, then Russo will want to stay. Well, that's a worrying sign.
Yeah, Leah Williamson down for Arsenal, and that does not look good. And Leah Valti and Jonas Eiderval certainly concerned. Well, this is the last thing that Arsenal needs. She's already playing midfield, Williamson, because of the injury to Kim Lissel. They cannot afford to lose another huge player, and you see the reaction there straight away from Leah Williamson. This does not look good for the England skipper.
Trying to figure out if it's a knee. Didn't see her ankle roll, whether she had her leg bent because it was something she found on a hamstring. But she's integral to this team, to the Lionesses. She's led to victory in her first term as the England captain. And with less than 100 days to go till the start of the World Cup. See here, little 1-2 around as she tries to recover and put the brakes on maybe in time. It looks like her right knee jars as she gets into the ground. I mean, God, Beth Mead, Vivian Miedema, I hope it's not a trio of ACLs for Arsenal, a trio of players whose World Cup woes potentially. It's something, unfortunately, we're all coming too used to, isn't it? But that's the glass half empty version.
Well, the deep, deep hope for Arsenal and England is that this is not as serious as it looks as though it could be for Leah Williamson. What a blow.
I've done my ACL twice. Aoife Mannion's just come back from 2 ACL reconstructions. The teammates, and all of them look pretty innocuous, is one thing. And that one did look, you couldn't quite pinpoint what it was, but the stud seemed to get caught in the ground and the body continues to move, and just hope that it's more of a knee-jerk reaction, excuse the pun. But
well, she's standing, and those cheers and applause are not just from the Arsenal fans, that's from a lot of the Manchester United crowd as well. Of course, Lionesses fans will be here in their numbers. They know how integral this woman is, and perhaps our hopes answered. She is able to walk off, Leah Williamson, but that is it for this game, and they simply cannot take the risk. And when a player responds like that, you know your own body. So the change is made. Williamson is off, Gio is on, and that will necessitate a little reshuffle in terms of the back, because Gio is an attacking player, a Brazilian.
well, if Jonas Eiderval was unhappy about the scheduling of this game ahead of the Women's Champions League at the weekend, he will now be livid. Worrying signs for Leah Williamson. I hope she's it's worse than it seems. Not as bad as it seems, should I say.
Yeah, no stretcher required, but clearly Williamson is concerned, Arsenal are concerned, we're concerned. Nobody wants to see this. For a player, and particularly in a World Cup year, for England's captain, best thoughts go out to Leah Williamson, and we hope for good news. Challenged by Wubben Moy. So Pelova has dropped back into a more central midfield position, with Gio coming out on this right-hand side. It's a position she can play, the Netherlands international. But you mentioned Jonas Eidevall not happy with the scheduling of this game, comparing it with Chelsea. Arsenal have their first leg of their Champions League semi-final away on Sunday to Wolfsburg. Chelsea not playing this week. They have a full week to build up to Barcelona at Stamford Bridge on Saturday lunchtime.
Well, it is bonkers, isn't it, that we want our best teams to represent England in the UEFA Women's Champions League, and to have the best chance at doing so, you need your best players. With Leah Williamson having to be helped off the pitch, clearly not great, then it's just not great for the Women's Super League, full stop.
Yeah, Kim Little there with her player who, as we've mentioned, it was confirmed will miss the rest of the season, and that's good teammate, it's good captaincy, but she will hope that Williamson doesn't suffer the same fate.
Said it before, but it's frustrating on behalf of the whole of women's football that there's not more preventative research being done, and I hope that the more sorry cases and examples that come about, the more will be sought to try and end what is a bit of an epidemic within women's football.
The players now must focus on the job at hand, and so have to keep their concentration for now, put their teammate out of their mind, which is what she'd want them to do. So much at stake here for both of these teams, and I'm sure the England teammates, as well as Jonas Eidevall, but the likes of Alessia Russo, Ella Toone, will be thinking about this as well on the Manchester United side.
Yeah, so Ella Toone sort of have a little word with Leah and wish her the best going off the pitch. The highs and lows of elite sport, eh?
Here is Wubben Moy. Vinoita, pursued by Galton. Mannion almost dispossessed by Leonardson Mornham. Letitia. Russo will nod it down towards Hayley Ladd. Good shielding of the ball by Pelova, but she needs some help. She gets it in the end from our referee, Abigail Byrne.
Yeah, did really well, Pelova. She was patient and shrugged off two Manchester United players. Excellent shielding the ball. I want to teach young players, get your body between the ball and the player who's trying to get it off you. You can do that, they ain't never going to get it. So, excellent play. Good low centre of gravity from Pelova, and draws a free kick.
Here goes Cool in pursuit of Batcher. Back to Mary Earps. Painful one there for Nikita Parris, and another stoppage for another injury to another Lioness.
If there's a head injury, then an automatic stop. And Nikita Parris will be looking to play herself back into that England squad. Was omitted from the last two games, Brazil and Australia. Desperate to get back in the thoughts of Serena Wiegmann, but needs that playing time in today ahead of Shayla Lucia.
Here is Blackstenius. It's closed down quickly by Gio. And here is Parris.
Well, she did feature regularly during her one season with Arsenal, but it was pinning down that starting place that was an issue for Nikita Parris. Just 5 starts in the league, although 38 appearances across the season, but those regular minutes being an influential part of the starting lineup, the reason that she moved to Manchester United to try and bring that about. Blackstenius will chase this, and Earps just got there.
Excellent front foot goalkeeping from Mary Earps. As a fraction of a second, she had to be quick off a line, but you've got to have the right starting position, and she did. Just snatched it off the toe of Blackstenius. We hope she continues her world best goalkeeper form. Manchester United fans and players, but also, of course, for Lionesses.
Here is Zellum. Batche. A little too strong for Parris, and Moritz is there. Raffaele into the stands for Arsenal.
Not too much joy down the flanks either for Parris. Raffaele's been outstanding this season. 31-year-old Brazilian.
Manchester United free kick.
Yeah, good shielding the ball from Bajane, just clips the heels. Cool. Manchester United are prolific with their heads, aren't they, Vic?
They are indeed. No side has scored more header goals in the WSL this season. No side has conceded a higher proportion of headed goals than Arsenal. Strength versus weakness, which will prevail from this set piece. Katie Zellum with the delivery. Russo's in there. Will fall to Mannion. Rustiness, perhaps.
What a return that would have been for Aoife Mannion. And just gets off the back shoulder, loses her marker, and he's free at the back post. That's a let-off for Arsenal. It's Katarina Kuhl who just Aoife Mannion manages to drift away from. Doesn't open up her body as a defender, Kuhl. I think Mark Skinner would have just wanted someone else to have been there at the back post.
Yeah, she is yet to score for Manchester United, Aoife Mannion, after arriving for Mark Skinner's side in 2021. She has had a year out with an ACL injury. A good opportunity, a very good opportunity to open her account there. Gio. Wienreuter steps away from Galton. Raffaele. Moritz is on the move, so is Leonardson Mornham. Neither can move quite fast enough.
She does really well, doesn't she, to stretch, almost join in with Blackstenius. Only young, I didn't realise she was only 23, Leonardson Mornham. But has cemented her place, absolutely, since she joined.
Yeah, she's made herself undroppable. Those two players you just saw there would be, were they not injured and suspended respectively. Kim Little and Katie McCabe. Parris. Belova dispossessed by Russo. Mannion. Space for Hannah Blundell to get forwards. Here is Blundell. Alton ahead of her. Just too much on the pass again.
It's that final bit of craft from Blundell. She's done excellently defensively.
Mannion under pressure from Blackstenius. Deals with it well. Forward by Le Tissier. Cool with the interception. And now Moritz. Balti.
There's nothing between these two teams in this opening 25 minutes.
Blundell to Mannion. Gio making a nuisance of herself. that's credit to Arsenal, the way that they've held their shape, held it together after the injury to Leah Williamson, as plays the ball straight out of play. Here goes Gio. Well defended by Blundell.
Yeah, it was already a midfield they wouldn't have wanted to have to start with. But with Kim Little being out, Leah Williamson stepping in, as she has done plenty of times before, certainly for Arsenal and has done for England as well.
Just breaks up that partnership with Raffaelli, doesn't it? That's almost the key thing, but having to make to amends.
Yeah, and you feel Raffaelli's become a real leader at that centre-half position. And she'll be the one who'll have to step up.
Not only having to contend with various injuries, but both sides having to contend with the conditions. It is very windy here at Leigh Sports Village. Aerial deliveries, rather a challenge. Not what you want as a goalkeeper, in particular, Rachel Brownfield.
Yeah, I'd take rain, snow, anything over the wind. Hated the wind because it just was a toss of a coin what was going to happen. The ball was in the air, then it'd hold up or it'd fizz down. Certainly off set pieces. But what you do have to do as a team is figure out when it can be an advantage to you.
Gia, Wienreuter, Mannion there ahead of Blackstenius, Nad forward, Palova's there for Arsenal. Tissier for Manchester United, Batje, Caris. Plays through the Arsenal press nicely, Zellem to Batje once more. Well defended by Arsenal and away by Kuhl.
Playing a really tidy game, Manchester United, keeping possession, fizzing a ball, taking care of those shorter passes and working it around players. Little triangles around Arsenal, gaining territory, get themselves into position.
Here is Rousseau. Batje, Ritz away. Zellem. Well, the goalkeeper really called into meaningful action so far. The best chance of the match still falling to this woman here, Aoife Mannion.
Well, United know that they belong within this elite four, as it seems to be. Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea and Arsenal. And they'll be desperate to try and prove it again. As you mentioned, they've done it twice. 19 against the top three, both times against Arsenal. They'll have that belief because they've been there and done it.
Mannion to Zellem. Now on Batje. Paris. Rousseau's on the move. She goes, Alessia Russo. Raffaelli will get there first, and again you just see the impact of the wind. Those balls forward not quite adjusting to the conditions so far, Manchester United, with the majority of those deliveries.
Yeah, but that's why you go and warm up, isn't it? To get used to those conditions, you warm up at your preferred side and then hope that you kick off from that side because you're used to those conditions. You figure out whether you need to take a bit off of it, whether you need to zip it, keep it to feet, put it in the air.
Ruben Moy goes in the air looking for Blackstenius, shoulder to shoulder with Mannion. And the Swedish forward will come away with it and win the throw.
Excellent strength from Aoife Mannion there, though. All that core work in the gym during her rehab's done well.
She's a strong player, isn't she? Very much a part of her game, Aoife Mannion.
Oh, mentally though, think what she's been through.
Leonardson Mornum. Tissier stumbles and Leonardson Mornum could be in here. Can she pick the pass? Mannion's there. Won't latch onto it for Arsenal, and Mannion is there again for Manchester United. Russo pulling back Raffaelli there. Free kick Arsenal.
Well, that's a let-off for Manchester United. Bit of a rash decision to go to ground from Badje. Opened up for Arsenal. See here, gets tight, goes to ground, doesn't get it. And it opens up. We just needed an Arsenal player to check, hold the 18-yard box, and for her to be picked out. Midfield got back to cut-off options, Manchester United. But possibly their best opening, Arsenal so far.
No surprise that Leonard Simornum is at the heart of it.
You're just trying to say a name as many times as you can in the first half an hour.
Well, we are using the full name because she said on a recent podcast that she does like that, as Blackstenius is flagged offside. They do tend to use the full name in Norway.
No, I'm teasing. I think it's the right thing. We, in the Men's Premier League and the Barclays Women's Super League, we do and should get full pronunciations from players. And it's our duty as commentators and co-commentators to get them right. So well done. Yeah, marginally offside there from Blackstenius.
Half an hour gone, still finely poised. And you could apply that to the WSL title race as a whole. These are the most competitive we've ever seen in the Women's Super League. 4 teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, still very much capable of coming out on top with just a handful of games to play.
It's great, isn't it? You know, gone are the days of foregone conclusions of matches. Even last weekend, Brighton, who were bottom against Manchester United, ran them right to the death, and it was only Mark Skinner's substitutions of Rachel Williams 10 minutes from the end that came on and then scored the winner to make it 3-2.
And we will have that FA Cup final, Manchester United's first in their history, live for you on BBC One Sunday, May the 14th, up against Chelsea. Plenty more league action to come as well. Tricky trip for Manchester United next, away to high-flying Aston Villa, sitting in 5th. They've had a brilliant season. You can join us for that one as well. Valti, a little stumble by Zellem. Here is Cool. Palova had made the run through the centre. Valti instead picks it up for Arsenal. Now Moritz. Won't reach Blackstenius. Paris. 2. Paris once more. Raffaelli there ahead of Russo.
Excited to hear the songs that both teams will have. Manchester United fans have, you know, they've grown so much since that first day, being here 4 years ago, that first match at Leigh Sports Village 5 years ago, and for their first ever visit to Wembley, they had a songbook.
Deserved yellow card for the Manchester United captain Katie Zellem. There was a gasp around the stadium when that challenge went in on Leah Valti.
Yeah,
and it's credit to Valti that she perhaps didn't make more of that, although perhaps she was confident Abigail Byrne would pull out the yellow card.
Yeah, yellow card, right decision. If it had been face-to-face or front-on and those studs had been up and straight down the shin, then that could have been a leg breaker. The fact that it came from the side, albeit a late attempt to win the ball, the yellow card was the right decision. Katie Zellem will be looking to be on that plane to Australia.
More concern here for Arsenal. And Frida Leonardson-Mornham can't afford another player going off after Leah Williamson's departure, and no wonder that Blackstenius has come over to check on the welfare of her teammate.
Again, they're testing her knee. It looked like Katie Zellem just contact studs on the shin, which, okay, that's sore, but just see here, Katie Zellem, oh sorry, that's on Leah Valti, isn't it? So we haven't actually seen the incident that Leonardson-Mornham is receiving treatment for.
Well, are Arsenal going to be forced into another change? This is a huge game for them. Jem Beattie receiving some instructions, but huge games coming thick and fast. The Champions League semi-final with Wolfsburg coming up. Injury-wise, it couldn't really be much worse for Arsenal at the moment, particularly if Leonard Simornum goes off as well.
She goes off and it's something highly significant. If she goes off and it's precautionary, she looks like she's limbering up, ready to come on. Some of those tests look like they were muscular injury tests, the abductor, adductor tests. She's holding there to the top of that abductor, a groin. Not saying that that's not significant, but in the time scale, nature of things, it's better than ACL.
Well, they're going to give her a go. We'll keep a sharp eye on that. Mannion away from Blackstenius. Flag is up against Blackstenius, and Manchester United will have the free kick.
I think if Alex Scott has remembered her boots, she might be getting called on to warm up. This many injuries.
Yep, she's limbering up next to us on the gantry. What must be going through the mind of Jonas Eidevall? I'm sure that he will have plenty to say about the schedule. I mean, I think the schedule, really, his frustration was with their preparation for the Champions League. This could happen in any game, but it certainly doesn't help. They'd have to play this game at some point in a midweek. Here is Ladd. Russo. Cleared away by Vubben-Moy. Ladd will make the block. Good powerful header by Bertier. Away by Raffaeli. Cool helps it on. Now Toon. Letizia. To Mannion. Well, we are seeing the two best defences in the WSL coming up against each other. Manchester United have conceded 1 goal fewer than Arsenal, 9 in their 17 games. But Skinner did say that he would be very surprised if this ended up goalless.
No, I think Mark Skinner backs his team to score pretty much every single game. Keep a lot of clean sheets as well, which is we've made reference to. He probably felt that Arsenal were potentially vulnerable.
Away by Moritz. Over. Vubben-Moy with the header. Alti, only to Zellem. Just ahead of Galton. Again, it's that incisive pass that just isn't quite there, just overplayed at the moment by Manchester United.
Leah Galton wanted it to her feet. He's played for her to run onto. It's a credit to Arsenal. Defensively, they've been solid so far.
Greenreuter inadvertently clearing it into Gio, but they do win the throw, Arsenal. Blunder to Zellem. Two.
Manchester United have got the right approach. They've been patient. They're letting Arsenal do quite a lot of running. They're drawing them. Kept possession pretty well for Manchester United.
Well, they might have beaten Arsenal back in November, Manchester United, but Mark Skinner wanted his side this evening to show how far they've come, show their aggressive nature, energetic football, see if Arsenal have any answers. But there is a modicum of tension here. Both sides know what's at stake. At the moment, both relatively evenly matched in this game as Lads makes a show of trying to take the free kick quickly. Gio's in the way.
It's had intensity and it's had a good tempo about it. I feel Manchester United have been crisper with their build-up play. And then it gets played out of. You know, they get the ball down to feet, play those triangles through Ella Toone and Hayley Ladd to Leah Galton and Nikita Parris. That's where they're going to get in. And smart runs from Alessia Russo. We've got to pick her out.
Well played by Pelova. Katie Zelem doesn't feel so. Thought it might have been a free kick. She just did enough to hold on to it there, Pelova, for Arsenal. Intercepted by Batchet.
That was a good tackle. Katie Zelem's handed out plenty of them. Sitbury on the receiving end. She got up and got on with it.
Russo down. No free kick. Arsenal retain possession and will now win a free kick of their own. He's not happy, crowd's not happy, team's not happy.
I think Jonas Eidevall will be very happy to go in at 0-0, should it go in at 0-0, given the roller coaster of a first half it's been for him and his team.
Yeah, losing Leah Williamson to injury, such a blow for them. Leonardson Mornham still on the pitch, but injury scare for her as well. That chance missed at the other end for Manchester United by Aoife Mannion, who really should have put the home side one up and got her first goal for the club. Mary Earps, in terms of meaningful action, has had very little to do. Playing for Zinsberger really at the other ends. Not too many saves had to be made by the goalkeeper.
It's been that final ball for Manchester United that hasn't quite been good enough to break down a team like Arsenal. And that's what Mark Skinner's side will be looking to improve on.
There's Leonardson Mornham, challenged by Le Tissier. Well, there was this scare for Leonardson Mornham.
There's a little bit of initial contact on a right ankle. And it must have been in that tussle with Katie Zelem. There's nothing obvious. She has carried on. She's holding a groin right at the end of the assessment. Hip flexor groin. She does look to be running pretty freely, which is great news for Arsenal.
Forward by Cool, here is Leonardson Mornham, and suddenly look at the space for her. Blackstenius on the charge. Mary Earps with the save for Manchester United.
Yeah, Mary Earps guarding a near post, as she should do. Got her angles right, just edged on the outside of the post. Technically excellent positioning from Mary Earps. Expect Leonardson Mornham to cut it back, but when you look up, there are zero options. Manchester United marks all the Arsenal players. No clever runs to get free Arsenal.
Here goes Blondell, challenged by Gio, and referee says that is a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, rightly so. It looked like she just pulled her back a little bit, and a yellow card for exactly that. Gio, who came on for the injured Leah Williamson. Hannah Blundell down, marauding down this left-hand side, clever to cut in across the body of Gio. And her only option to stop Hannah Blundell was to get arms on and then take her down from the back. I'm not quite sure what that shrug means, but it's definitely a yellow card.
So 5 minutes of added time at the end of this first half, that lengthy stoppage for Leah Williamson, also the slightly shorter one for Leonardson Mornham, and now one for Hannah Blundell.
Yeah, Hannah Blundell had such a long period, didn't she, at Chelsea, picking up many a trophy along the way and seeing how they developed, and as their squad developed and grew and international superstars were brought in, she was almost left surplus to requirements, but she's had such a consistent run of games here at Manchester United since she moved with similar time to Torres Dottir, who's out injured till the end of the season, but she's been an ever-present down this left-hand side. Gets caught and puts her boot back on. Just a stinger, a sore one on that Achilles, but looks like she's moving freely enough.
And another set-piece opportunity for his side. Katie Zellem has to wait because Hannah Blundell not quite off the pitch yet. There she goes. So, Manchester United set-piece specialist, the captain. Zellem with the delivery. It's a good one. Arsenal don't quite deal with it. Just about get enough on it. Leonardson Mornham now under pressure from Mannion. Deals with that pressure very nicely. What composure there. Malty, though, still under pressure. And eventually Arsenal get the distance. Well, Manchester United feeling that they won the ball there with Hayley Ladd. Referee not agreeing. Abigail Byrne. It will be a free kick to Arsenal. Might be more here for Ladd. Let's see.
It's been a spicy game, hasn't it? Plenty of incidents in this first half, everything but goals, and now a yellow card to Hayley Ladd. She claims she got the ball. I haven't seen the replay, but my instinct was she did get something off the ball. I've known to be wrong on regular occasions. So Hayley Ladd shrugs her off. And it's a tackle on Leah Velti.
Here come Manchester United with Toon. Ladd's in there. Header away by Arsenal. Zellem there ahead of Leonardson Mornham. Just. Here she is once more, Zellem. Forward by Ladd. Toon is down. Ladd back in. Gio picks it up almost. Galton steals it from her. Manchester United pushing deep in added time at the end of this first half. Galton. Space now for Battier. Blundell's made the run. Can't keep it in.
I just couldn't get it in a stride, could she? A natural left footer might have arced to run a little bit more to get on it. There's a good run, she got in behind. Just worried before when Ella Toon took a strike at the ball and I think kicked the bottom of an Arsenal player's foot. It's Katie Zellem delivery. Excellent delivery, and it's two headers, one there off an Arsenal player. Cleared, bobbling around, great strength and great composure. Nobody can get a clean header on it for Manchester United, but Leonardson Mornham did excellently well.
Cleared away by Battier.
Gio's had an impact, came on as a substitute, and she looks like she's annoying people right, left and centre. That yellow card herself was involved in the Hayley Ladd yellow card.
Do you reckon those were the instructions from Jonas Eidevall?
Maybe translation problems, but she certainly made an impact, and you know, they're missing the tenacity and the fire of Katie McCabe today.
Badger. Paris. Here is Toon. Is there time for one last attack for Manchester United? Intercepted by Valti. Letizia. Space now for Nikita Paris. Suddenly bursting to life, Manchester United. Russo! Right on the stroke of half-time, Alessia Russo puts Manchester United in front. And the former Arsenal player, Nikita Paris, so involved in that goal. Lioness to lioness, Manchester United are roaring.
That was absolutely textbook, off the training ground here, draws a player in, slides it through. Nikita Paris holds her on brilliant. As she drives to the touchline, she's going to look to cut it back. Penalty spot is where you want your attacker to be lining up to get a little bit of space. And who is it? The player you want to be receiving that ball on the penalty spot, Alessia Russo. You see her look up there, Nikita Paris. Slides it between Raffaelli and Maritz beautifully. Bayern can't get out in time. And that's a really well worked. We talked about how well Manchester United have built up the play and they got their reward just before half-time.
With virtually the last kick of the half. And that's the quality that Alessia Russo can bring. Paris has had a quiet first half. Russo hasn't had the service she'd wanted, but just one moment, Rachel Brown-Finnis, they click and Manchester United lead. And
we'd barely even mentioned Ella Toon's name in that first half, or Nikita Paris after a couple of minutes or opening 10 minutes had a few forays down that right-hand side. But when it came to needing composure and quality, it was the two lionesses, Nikita Paris and Alessia Russo, who delivered for Manchester United. And what a different team talk it is, especially for Jonas Eidevall.
Huge goal for Manchester United, huge goal in the WSL title race. Half-time at Leigh Sports Village. It's Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Rachel. Well, it's a different team talk for us now down here as well, because just when we were about to discuss how tight the game was, Farah, obviously it's tight at the top, the game totally changes on us.
It does, in the last kick of the first half. So, yeah, it was, the game, the first 45 has been pretty flat from both teams. I think, actually, the injury to Leah Williamson was more of a concern to the Man United players. They looked a lot more flatter after that injury than Arsenal did. And Arsenal had the better of the chances in the first half. If you can call them chances, I would call them more half chances. But both teams didn't really come out in this first 45 minutes.
Why do you think that is, Gilly?
I don't know, I think obviously United have come off the back of a win, obviously against Brighton, but it just seemed like they was trying to suss each other out, and Man United backline looked nervous to make a mistake as well, and that could become from the game against Brighton, obviously with Millie Turner's mistake, so there's a bit of unrest, obviously Mary Earps as well, so it just seemed as though they was both trying to suss each other out and was waiting for one team or one player to slip up.
Yeah, because that's the thing, Farah, when a game is so tight, you don't want to be that player to either mess up or let your team down.
Yeah, for sure, but I thought Man United, in terms of their possession, very sloppy from them. Lots of, turnovers. Luckily for them, not in bad areas for Arsenal to transition. But, yeah, you are waiting for that one moment when the game is so cagey for a mistake to get yourself a goal.
Well, it was very cagey, but then we got a goal, Gilly. Talk us through that. I suppose Nikita Paris coming back into the Manchester United team had a key part to play in it.
Yeah, and obviously there was a bit more extra time as well because of the injuries and the bookings. But yeah, obviously Nikita Paris picks it up on the outside and you're sort of wondering what's she going to do, but a great cut back there, and obviously Alessia Russo, you fancy her to finish that anyway, but she was a bit off balance, but again, obviously Nikita picking up the ball and driving at the Arsenal back line as well, that had been a little bit disjointed and doesn't just hit it into an area, she looks up and picks out Alessia and obviously puts it into the bottom corner.
Nikita here, the way she just picked up the ball and drove into the box, it really gives defenders, real difficulty. You can see here, as she picks it up, she gets herself with the ball into the box, but to pick this pass out for Russo, arriving late, was a fantastic pass. You can see she gets her head up, and the cutback here is brilliant. Arsenal, the defenders are obviously covering that space in front, and the cutback has absolutely killed this Arsenal back line, and it's a great finish from Russo.
And like you said, it is a big moment from Nikita Parris because she's ultimately playing for her place in an England squad as well. So to start today and actually make an impact, Farah, is huge for her.
Yeah, it is, and a player that I think has come to form in this Man United team. I think Mark Skinner has given Nikita Parris a lot of confidence. We've seen, she lost a lot of confidence in that Arsenal team last season, got the move to Man United and didn't really play at the beginning of the season. She started to play and she started to perform and deliver, and there's a prime example of her, delivering in terms of assisting her teammates.
Yeah, it really is. And talking about World Cup places, obviously we saw a big injury for Arsenal, an early blow to them, Gilly, in Leah Williamson going off the pitch.
Yeah, obviously going down, there was a bit of talk upstairs whether she got caught by Katie Zellin, but she don't seem to get any contact at all. And I think it's straight away she's obviously waving her hand in the air to see it's serious. And a couple of players went over to her and doing the substitute sign as well. But I mean, not only for England, but that's such a huge potential loss for us. Obviously, don't know how serious it is at the moment, but obviously with Kim Little being out and her potentially going into midfield to then lose her, but obviously from an England's point of view, with the World Cup year coming up, being the England captain, obviously potential Millie Brighton, unsure how long she's going to be out for. It's sort of that unrest and disjointed at the back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not too serious.
Yeah. I think it's these pictures, Alex, here that that gives you that little bit of worry in your head. A fantastic player, both for club and country. One that we won't want to, see out injured, but it's the way she's just walked off down the tunnel. We've seen a brave face as she walked off the pitch, and it's these just behind the scenes here that look worrying for me.
Yeah, we're just being told that Leah Williamson is currently on crutches being assessed. But I suppose when you do think of the bigger picture, Arsenal and England, they're also missing Millie Bright at the moment. So that would be a huge blow. Farah.
Massive blow, and one that we don't want. We can't afford to have, both of our centre-halves, but Leah, the maturity of her over the last couple of seasons, both on and off the pitch, has been massive, and a player that we can't afford to, Arsenal certainly can't afford to lose with the big semi-finals in the Champions League at the weekend. Even today, they needed a result from today. So, yeah, it will be a big loss, and as I say, fingers crossed it's not as bad as what it looked as she left the pitch.
OK, well, let's get back to Manchester United as well, because this is huge for them on domestic double going for it, Gilly. So what would Mark Skinner be saying in there at half-time to his team?
It's probably a better chat than what he did at half-time on Saturday. But, I mean, it's such a big time for a goal to be scored as well. I mean, for Arsenal, it's devastating. It's gutting at that time to go in half-time. Put in a different story if it was 0-0, but obviously Man United just need to be composed. They need to just not panic, stay nice and tight, because I think there's still another goal in the game. You can't write Arsenal off, and obviously it's theirs to hold on to now.
Well, we're hoping for some more goals here, but look, there's another huge game going on in the WSL at the moment. Let's bring you up to date with everything going on, because a key game down at the bottom. Brighton are in the relegation places and on their third manager of the season. American Melissa Phillips is her first league game in charge against Everton tonight, and you can see the score at the moment is currently 2-0 in that one. It's early in the second half at the moment. But you can see they are off the bottom down there, and look how tight it is at the top as well. Right, now we know it's that time of year when live football can appear almost anywhere in the schedules, and our WSL game next weekend is Friday night under the lights, the next instalment in this title race. And what a task for Manchester United, away to a team who are very much the best of the rest at the moment in Aston Villa. That one will be on BBC Three next Friday, and kick-off is coming at you 7:15. And then we have the Women's FA Cup final to look forward to. Chelsea against Manchester United. A record cup final crowd expected at Wembley on Sunday the 14th of May. And if you can't be there, you can join us on BBC One. And actually, speaking of United, you can find this on the BBC Sport website.
Touch. Now, Alessia Russo had everyone in a frenzy last summer with that outrageous back heel. Hang it in the Louvre, they said, so I've come to Manchester for a catch-up and a masterclass in some close-range finishing. That's good to see you.
And you.
You're one of the most creative finishers in the WSL. I believe we're going to go into a little forward runs drill. I'm going to have to step up and try and be tuned. So if you're in this position on the pitch where you're trying to break the back line, as a forward, you're always taught opposites, long to come short, short to go long.
Yeah.
Why does that make it difficult for a defender?
I think just any type of double movement can like set them off balance, and it's kind of like a bit of a game of cat and mouse really.
On that, should we give it a go?
Yeah, let's go.
Les, this is a position on the pitch you find yourself in often.
Yep.
What movement are you going to do here?
First one, I'm just going to check back off the mannequin, receive first touch and finish on my second, hopefully.
That easy, yeah?
Yeah. Right, you ready?
Yep. Yes, let's.
Yep.
Finish. What's a different movement you can do to get in to score a goal?
I'll start this side and I'll run blind side.
Finish. R1 circle on smash. What's a different way that you can get in off the back of a defender?
Sometimes like coming in front of the line to then dip back in, so that one was in behind, so maybe just coming in front to go back.
Let's give it a go.
Okay.
3 out of 3, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, ready? Yeah. Touch. Finish. Now we see you in these positions where you're going through one-on-one, but we always see you chipping in with headers as well. So we're going to get my sturdy centre-halves in the box and we'll talk through some movements on how you score from crosses and further forward. And when I watch you play, you're always in space. What's different here to get you that yard to finish off a cross or a ball into the box?
I think it's quite similar, using your strength last minute, getting in front of them or behind them to get on the end of it.
Finish. Yeah, great header. How do you practice that in training so in a game it's second nature?
I'll anticipate the ball coming back post and have to change like my run last minute, so yeah, just staying alert.
So we've done forward runs, what's next?
First touch.
We see with the best strikers, your touch can also change where the goalkeeper is and their movement.
Yeah.
How do you use that to make scoring and hitting those corners easier?
The more central you can take your first touch, the better.
You've set up a little area here, so the first touch has got to be nice and tight.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be firing the balls in from 3 different angles. Keep the first touch in the square.
Yeah.
And then it's a finish, top corner, I hope. Touch. Oh, both sides, side netting, Calvin! All right, last one, 3 out of 3. How did you decide which area of the box enabled that world-class finishing?
Well, from that one, I knew I was going to have to take it on my left foot. So if I'd set myself here, then either just whip it in either corner.
3 out of 3. That's top class.
Now an opportunity for Russo! And it's Alessia Russo with her 5th goal of the season.
Good luck for the rest of the WSL season.
Thank you.
United are flying, you're in with a good chance.
Yeah, big few months coming up, so looking forward to it.
Wicked. Thanks so much.
No worries.
Yeah, Russo, Georgia Stanway, just some of the masterclasses available over on BBC Sport website. And maybe as the season goes on, Liam McDevitt might improve his defending a little bit more. But let's get you over to Joe Curry now, who's joined by Kelly Simmons from the FA.
Kindly joined by the director of the women's professional game. Kelly, first of all, with your FA hat on, that was obviously a difficult first half for Arsenal in terms of the score, but from an England point of view, worrying to see Leah Williamson hobbling off as well.
Yeah, of course. You know, she's such a key player, captain, and such a fantastic ambassador as well. Just we don't know obviously what's happened yet, but hopefully, you know, get better soon, and we'll see you back on the pitch as quickly as possible, both for Arsenal and England.
Absolutely. Now tonight, of course, is all about the WSL, but we've just come off the back of a weekend where we had 2 really classy FA Cup semi-finals. If we look ahead to the final at Wembley in May, where are we up to with ticket sales?
Well, we've sold 65,000 tickets. We've allocated just under 8,000 to each club as well. So we're on track to sell out. If we do sell out, it'll be the first domestic women's game that's sold out at Wembley. Another great landmark, really, of how well that we're doing. Of course, it'd be incredible for those players to step out in front of a full crowd at Wembley. So hopefully, you know, it will sell out, and what a day it'll be.
I mean, that would be an incredible occasion. How much of that, those ticket sales, do you think are down to the fact we saw that successful day for the Lionesses at Wembley last summer winning the Euros?
Well, it's definitely had an impact. We can see this year in the WSL we're averaging 6,000 a game. You know, all of our attendances are significantly up. But I think it's the fact that we have got a fantastic product. These are wonderful players. We've got world-class players playing in the WSL and in the Women's FA Cup. And people want to come and see them. And it's, you know, as I say, it's another great moment really for the women's game that we're going to see such a big crowd for what is our pinnacle event in the domestic calendar.
Yeah, well, if you do want to get tickets to the FA Cup final, there are still a few available on general sale. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again in May, if not before. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Kelly. As you can see, the players are on their way out. If you missed any of the action in the first half, let's bring you the best of it.
The latest chapter of this gripping WSL title race. Manchester United are on the brink of history.
That's a worrying sign.
And that does not look good.
Just ups the heels.
It is Ellen with the delivery. Will fall to Mannion. Rustiness, perhaps. There was a gasp around the stadium when that challenge went in. Manchester United, Russo! Right on the stroke of half-time.
OK, Farrah Williams, how do Arsenal get back into this game?
I actually think they were the better of the two teams in the first half. I think if they can exploit Man United's fullback areas, I think, and get somebody closer to Blackstenius up front, they might have half a chance of getting a goal.
OK, Manchester United currently leading at 1-0. Let's get you back to our commentary team today. Rachel Brown-Finnis is alongside Vicky Sparks.
Thanks, Alex. So, a double change for injury-stricken Arsenal at half-time. And this is one player who's back from injury. Steph Catley is on. Along is as well as Jen Beattie. So 2 changes for Arsenal at the break. The reminder that they've already had to make a change in the first half. Leah Williamson injured and replaced by Gio. So Manchester United to get us underway in this second half. So the 2 players coming off, Laura Wienreuter and Katharina Kuhl. So again, another reshuffle for Arsenal at the back.
The timing of Steph Catley's return is impeccable. Maybe he didn't want to use her to bring her on this early stage, but she's been out on the pitch at training. And out of necessity is on now.
Manchester United taking the set piece quickly. Arsenal dealing with it. Beattie just about doing enough against Russo. Here's Nikita Paris looking for Russo once more. Good save, Zinsberger. The combination that hit Arsenal at the end of the first half, almost striking gold once again at the start of this second. Arsenal looking to counter themselves. Here is Leonard Simone. Overs through the centre. Here is Gio on the right. It will come through to Blackstenius. Miscue on the stretch, and the chance is gone.
What a chance that was. It was Blackstenius who had the last chance really to cut it back, but Arsenal from Pelova, she should have found a player in the centre, but that's all off the back of a chance from Manchester United. And as they break, slides it through Leonard Simone, and here just needed, look, it's 2 free players of Arsenal. See the frustrations in the centre, clearance by Ruben Moy, and this is the chance I was talking about. Good save, it's dipping low and hard from Alessia Russo. Good save from Manuela Zinsberger, excellent positioning. Didn't gamble, didn't guess, waited and reacted.
Huge moments in this game, potentially a huge moment in this WSL title race. Manchester United, as things stand, are moving 6 points clear of Arsenal, who still will have that game in hand. They're moving 4 points clear of second place Chelsea, who would have 2 games in hand. Russo almost in behind once more. Beattie back to Zinsberger. Here is Valti. By Ruben Moy. Here is Gio. Nicely controlled by Mannion. Gio has stayed down for Arsenal momentarily. Manchester United will play on with Zellem.
Just forgot to put the brakes on, I think, Gio, and just ran into the back of Aoife Mannion. Good, she's back up on her feet. Maybe a little bit winded. So yeah, there's Aoife Mannion taking a touch, shields the ball really well, looks to play it back, and takes the hit of Gio. Mark Skinner will be wanting his Manchester United team to kill off this game. No injuries. Had an early chance. Nikita Parris riding around. Did really well to change the angle of the ball and just got the contact. Hayley Ladd. Yeah, steps inside and just too quick, isn't she, for Raffaelli?
Team will chase this. Catley is there for Arsenal. Does well. And notable that the changes that Jonas Eidevall has made is bringing on the experience of Steph Catley, of Jen Beattie. It's also allowing Arsenal out of possession to drop into a back five.
Yeah, and Ella Toon's seen that, whether that was a directive from Mark Skinner. He wants her to get involved more, get her joining in with Alessia Russo. But as and when they will need to. One mark Ella Toon, because we mentioned her name once or twice in the whole first half, and that's very unlike her Manchester United performance.
Yeah, she hasn't had the goal return in particular that she would have expected this season, Ella Toon. 3 for the season, the last one actually coming in the victory over Arsenal at the Emirates back in November.
And 23-year-olds played a lot of football. Ever present for Manchester United before the European Championships, straight into the European Championships. A successful but energy sapping, I'm sure, Euros, straight into Women's Super League. Best part of 18 months, 2 years, non-stop football.
Won't be kept in on the far side by Maritz.
Ella Toon wouldn't have changed it for the world. Superstar of the summer, along with other youngsters, Chloe Kelly, who will give hope to all those ACL injured players to make that miraculous comeback in time for the Euros, score the winner and score a deciding penalty in that finalissima against Brazil in Easter.
Yeah, she very much has her place in England's history, Chloe Kelly, as does Ella Toon. Still thinking back on that wonderful night at Wembley, the composure to chip a goalkeeper in a European Championship final at Wembley, just remarkable.
It is, and I'm sure, you know, as much as we remember it, that's etched in her mind. Just shows you, know, the whole structure. We saw Kelly Simmons at half-time, who's been at the FA for over 25 years, hanging up her administrative boots, as it were, at the FA.
A pencil, maybe.
I'm sure it's probably more than that. But has done so much for the game, seen the game grow, has allowed players like this to come through the system, to have the very best players have everything they need to get the best out of their games. And we're seeing Russo and Toon and many others.
Russo's goal the difference. Catley away under pressure from Parris. Manchester United pushing for the second goal. Toon. Batia. Well defended by Arsenal.
Yeah, as much as you'd miss Leah Williamson at centre-half, stepping in midfield, Ruben Moy, and now Jen Beattie, so much experience that she brings with her game.
Forward by Ruben Moy, Blackstenius will chase. And back to Mary Earps, decided to take the touch. Finally done in the end by Manchester United's number 1. Zellem to Batchy. Zellem once more. Now Paris turns pointing to where she wants it. Also appealing for offside, and the flag will go up against Ella Toone.
Excellent organising at the back. Yeah, you saw lots of them. White, Jen Beattie, Gabrielli, all communicating along that back line to ensure that the run of either Leah Galton, Alessia Russo or Ella Toone. Ella Toone, the one culpable. Excellent defending from the Arsenal back line.
Russo closing down. Valti. Raffaele. Slightly loose, but Paris wasn't quite close enough. Raffaele forwards, Pelova. Raffaele. Hatley's on the move. So is Pelova. Good block by Batya.
Good running. She got on the back shoulder of Letitia there. Pelova. Dangerous on that underlap of Steph Catley. How Arsenal and how Australia will be desperate to have Steph Catley and Caitlin Ford fit and raring to go again soon.
Yes, Ford another on the current Arsenal injury list. There's Ruben Moy. Leonardson Morning. Beaten by Hayley Ladd, not once but twice.
Beautiful evening football. Now the wind's died down. Gorgeous sky out here in good conditions. Threatened to cause chaos in the first half, didn't it, the wind, but
here come Arsenal. Blackstenius manning with the foot in. Comes to Moritz. There to Marshall. Arsenal will keep it alive. Pelova was in there. Harris picks it up for Manchester United, who look to counter with Russo. Stopped by Raffaele. Abigail Burns says legally so.
yeah, excellent tackle from Gabrielli. Timed that long limb pointed toe to just poke the ball away. Good tackle.
Here is Raffaele. Catley. Pelova. Stenius was pointing to where she wanted it. Look at it now. Leonardson Warnham. Here's Blackstenius. Flag is up.
Oh, looked tight. Did really well to kind of had a straight arm to hold a player off to receive the ball with a back to a goal. Talked about how more decisive, yet good call from the assistant. It was the right call, was offside. But Manchester United, their build-up play has been sharp. Arsenal's look a little bit more, I think they're making it up really. Not particularly synchronised. Good tackle from Gabrielli, as we see there.
Here come Arsenal. Pelova looking to get in behind again. Well dealt with by Mannion. She's had a solid performance on her first start for Manchester United in over a year. February 2022, the last time she started domestically. Has started for the Republic of Ireland in the interim, but such a long time out with that knee injury, and coming for a huge game from the off, and has been solid.
Yeah, and so much about a defensive position is decision making, and they have to be done in split seconds. Make a mistake and can lead to a goal, so she's been excellent both mentally and physically tonight.
Here comes Galton for Manchester United. Intercepted by Vubin-Moy. Now Moritz. Leonardson-Mournham. Cleared away by Katie Zeller.
Tell you what, they've got some character, haven't they, Arsenal? Think of the number of times they've been like punched and on the ropes, metaphorically tonight, with Lee Williamson, and prior to the game, Katie McCabe being out, Kim Little being out, as well as the long-term injuries they've already suffered.
Here is Pelova.
Well over from Pelova.
Well, she has scored once for Jonas Eidevall's side. No joy there against Mark Skinner's Manchester United. Arrived in January from Ajax, Netherlands international, 23 years old. Very good player.
Yeah, and she's looked sparky up top, hasn't she? She's looked darting runs, looking like she has the better of the pace up against Letitia and Aoife Mannion. Just feel like it needed a perfectly threaded ball through to her.
Here come Arsenal once more. Good spell this for the visitors as they look to get back on level terms. Just too much on it from Leonardson-Mournham.
Gio looks useful, doesn't she? She's gets about, she's positionally has been very good. Probably just told by, you know, what better mentor to have than one of the greats in midfield, Kim Little.
Manchester United giving the ball away. Moment of sloppiness, and it cost them. Pelova. Plenty of pink shirts forward for Arsenal. Manchester United make first contact. Blackstenius. Great block by Mannion. Arsenal have it with Gio. Can't keep the momentum of the attack going. Manchester United just about clear, but the warning signs are there. The free kick belatedly has been given against Gio and to Manchester United, but just need to wake up a bit here.
And it's Russo's down, and now any time a Lioness is down, I'm worried. It's brilliant defending actually from Alessia Russo, and just as she swung to clear it, she caught, I think, the leg of, I think it's Pelova, is it? Yeah. Bit of a hefty, is that Gio again? A little bit late.
She's on a yellow as well, Gio.
But you mentioned brilliant block from Aoife Mannion when it looked like Blackstenius took a tidy little touch towards goal, made herself just a foot, a yard or so of space, but read it beautifully, Aoife Mannion.
Pelova causing problems again, putting Manchester United under real pressure, and that is what pressure can do. Arsenal corner. And they might take it quickly here, Arsenal. Manchester United need to stay switched on. Paris was out quickly. They've still got the option of the short corner. Catley's there.
Arsenal have got momentum.
They have momentum. Can they find the equaliser? Deep delivery. That's got a good punch on it. Toon away. Russo very much away.
Brilliant footwork from Mary Earps there. Watched it because it did hang up in the air and swerve towards goal. She watched it, and then got, you know, handing off, palming off players as well. And then got up high and punched high and wide. Excellent technical, excellent goalkeeping.
Leonardson-Mournham dispossessed. Here come Manchester United with Blundell. Tussling with Moritz and fouled by Moritz.
A bit of breathing time for Manchester United. This 5 or 8 minutes has belonged to Arsenal, really. Just a little tug of the shirt from Moritz on Blundell. Nobody looks like they're about to enter into a World Cup. Everybody's going full-blooded.
Well, certainly back in this on the balance of play, Arsenal, if not the scoreline, but it's been a tricky time for them on their travels of late. Won just one of their last 5 away games in all competitions. That was 5-1 in the North London derby at Tottenham last month. And this would be a real blow to their title hopes. Not out of it. Still have a game in hand on Manchester United. They trail them by 6 points, but it's the proximity of Chelsea and Manchester City as well. And of course, it's not just about the title. One of those sides, Manchester United included in that 4, will miss out on the Champions League. And that, long term, could be so costly when there's so much competition to attract the best players. And the Champions League is so integral to that. Play allowed to continue by referee Abigail Byrne, but Blundell stays switched on. But again, Pelova pushing so high. Mertz in the end decides to bypass the press.
Yeah, and she can do though, because Blackstenius is with her. It's not, she's not isolated pressing, and look, Arsenal have won it, turned it back over. There's front line pressing, pushes up the back line as well.
Raffaelli. Under pressure from Paris. They trailed against Manchester City, their title rivals in their last match, Arsenal. Came back to win 2-1. This game is not over yet. Sliding challenge by Leah Galton gives away the free kick. And I think that's the first time I've mentioned Leah Galton's name in this second half.
Yeah, interesting though, the referee didn't give it and the assistant referee did flag for it, so clearly she's used the help of the assistant. Galton certainly wasn't happy with the tackle, with the decision, should I say. We saw Jonas Eidevall's reaction, he was having to be held back on the touchline. So Leah Galton tries to get goal side, can't do. She does win the ball, but kind of goes through the player as well. Jonas Eidevall wanting a card. Brandished.
Manchester United are the only side yet to concede from a set piece in the WSL this season. As Arsenal told exactly where to take said set piece from. Deep delivery once more. Too deep.
You've got to have a runner at back post. That was an excellent ball. You saw lots of Moy coming in centrally. A little bit too long for her. But Pelova needed to arc a run. Come from outside to in.
Here come Arsenal once more. Every interception is going their way at the moment. Can they find a way through against the WSL leaders? Ruben Moy, Leonard Simona. Ruben Moy once more. Keogh's on the chase, Blundell is there. Dalton's clearance. Ruben Moy, now Valti. Blackstenius, cleared away by Manchester United. Zellem to Paris. Batje. He was Hayley Ladd. Lovely footwork. Batje. Lioness is arriving in the area. Batje's delivery. Oh, didn't find a teammate. Zinsberger confident?
Yeah, I was. I turned away before it had gone wide. And you could see it was disappointing though with that lovely build-up play from Nikita Paris. Hayley Ladd drove through that midfield, shouldered them off, and it just needed Badje to pick someone out. Can see that Russo got between two centre halves, Ruben Moy and Beattie.
Raffaelli with the header. Pelova possibly pulled back by Batje, but Arsenal will come forward. Here is Ruben Moore.
Leonardson Mordham's played a little bit more square on to Leah Volti since the substitution. She's not having that driving forward impact. She's letting Pelova do that alongside Blackstenius.
Raffaele's ball forwards. Too much for Catley.
Right idea, just overhit. Outside of the left. This is what's left of the Arsenal bench.
Yeah, limited options for Arsenal. Got Taya Goldie, Michelle Aguiman, Jodie Taylor, the most experienced of those. Manchester United, the likes of Martha Thomas. Rachel Williams, their heroine against Brighton, so effective off the bench, and another game changer for Manchester United this season in more ways than one. Yes, in terms of key goals, but Mark Skinner, after she scored that late winner in the FA Cup semi-final, saying her experience is what they lacked last season. Pelova was kindly for her, and to get the shot away, she can keep possession. Stannis is in there. Earps claims well.
Towering claim from Mary Earps, really well done. Had to drive off because she's tall. Blackstenius had to time it perfectly, drive up. She had a little writhe around on the floor, maybe jarred her foot, but there's this first chance from Pelova. She just couldn't pull the trigger. Anna Blundell does really well to stay tight. Mary Earps did so well to claim that. There's your land. It's just a long way up, it's a long way down. She'll be fine. You know, you go up with the attackers, you get elbows, knees, ponytails, all kinds of whiplash injuries on your way up. And, you know, 70 minutes, you're preparing a substitution. I'm not saying this is tactical, but both teams are at their benches receiving instruction.
Well, here she comes. Rachel Williams has scored in her last 2 substitute appearances, both goals against Brighton. And you wonder whether it will be once more Alessia Russo that makes way. At the moment, it is her goal that separates the sides in this key title race clash. And it will be Alessia Russo, replaced by Rachel Williams. Big goals come from big players, and both of these women score them. She scored a huge one tonight, Alessia Russo. Could it be the difference?
Yeah, ball through from May Letitia to Nikita Parris, who gets beyond the back line of Arsenal, and it's textbook, perfect pullback, looks up, cuts it between the 2 Arsenal players. 18-yard, penalty spot is exactly where she needs Alessia Russo to be, and she remains balanced and composed to slot it home.
Her 11th goal of the season for Alessia Russo. That equals her best goal-scoring campaign domestically that she reached last year. And you would not bet against her hitting her best numbers with the games that they still have to come in the WSL and the FA Cup final, of course, against Chelsea next month. Rachel Williams looking to make an impact from the bench once again.
Rachel Williams has seen it all, from plasterer to professional footballer. Olympics, World Cups, Euros, she's been in all of them. And now she is that go-to experienced winner, player that Mark Skinner calls upon for these big moments.
And here's another big player for a big moment. Golden Boot winner at the Euros in 2017 with England. Jodie Taylor, back at Arsenal last month, is on for Gio, so the substituted, but I have to say the introduction of Gio for Leah Williamson, certainly not planned, forced by injury in the first half. Gio certainly played her part, but Jodie Taylor, even at the age she is these days, a woman who knows how to score big goals in big games. 36 years old she might be. Yet to score since returning to Arsenal, but got 10 goals in her 17 appearance with them when she spent 20 months with them a few years ago. Much of that with an Achilles injury as well, but great figures. Yes, slightly different stage of her career, but a player that can keep composure in these key games and big moments.
Absolutely, spent most of her career out in the NWSL in the US playing professional at a time when in this country there was no professional leagues. So she's played her whole entire career as a professional footballer, which for a player of her age isn't always the case. So she's quality, she's proven it at international level, and Arsenal need her for the remainder of this season.
Well, we know who she is. Printing issue, apparently, with the shirt there. But they'll be roaring her name if she does get them back into this, the Arsenal fans. We talk about the impact on the title race, Rachel Brown-Finnis. Come to that in a moment as Manchester United look to feed Scholton with Williams, well defended by Ruben Moy. But how significant, if the scoreline stays as it is this for both sides and their hopes of winning the title?
Makes it super exciting, doesn't it? Because for Arsenal, this was their game in hand, and they needed to try and capitalise on that to go equal on points with Manchester United. And as it stands, it's been a 6-point swing, hasn't it?
Here is Blackstenius, not over yet for Arsenal. Shot in the end, didn't catch it cleanly. And Mary Earps makes the save.
Arsenal are still knocking on the door. Arsenal have had the better chances in this second half. And Mark Skinner, last season, Christmas top, and then just fell away. Didn't have the squad depth to really maintain that, but this season they have only got Chelsea really to keep off their tails.
Well, you wonder how influential those games in hand could be. They will have played more matches than every other side, Manchester United, after this evening, but the 4-point gap to Chelsea, still have those 2 games in hand.
Man United have got Villa, Tottenham, cup final against Chelsea, Manchester City, and Manchester derby here at Leigh Sports Village.
Yes, it's a huge penultimate weekend in the WSL. Arsenal travel to Chelsea on that weekend as well. But it's Manchester United in pole position in this game. Pole position in the WSL title race as well. Arsenal looking to have some sort of say still about that in this second half. How high Raffaelli's getting. Welty it is, he wins the ball. Williams wins it back from her. Jodie Taylor closing down Zellum. And the free kick goes the way of Manchester United.
Just looking at all the reshuffles, looking at the back 3 or 5 as it is, and the change in midfield. Every time a substitution's come on, planned or otherwise, it's been a reshuffle for Arsenal. So Jonas Eidevall and his technical team and the players who've come on have done an excellent job, because they still look, they certainly are still threatening Manchester United's back line.
Well, they failed to score in just 1 of their last 24 WSL games, Arsenal. Can they find a way to breach this Manchester United back line? Forward towards Blackstenius, Leonardson Mornham. Jodie Taylor will chase, Batchers telling Mary Earps to come. And Mary Earps does so.
Yeah, good shielding from Badger as well. And Mary Earps is calling, what you need your defender to do is cut off that line so the attacker doesn't have a straight run at the ball.
Paris, closed down by Raffaelli. Zellum.
Back line of Manchester United rarely changes. It's quite a surprise really to see for Man U come in for Millie Turner.
Foul throw there from Arsenal, Steph Catley. Probably good he was looking the other way for that, Jonas Eidevall.
I think he's planning his final substitution, Jonas Eidevall.
Badgett. A little short for Zellem, but she does evade Taylor. Now Paris. Williams and Galton in the centre. Little deflection on the delivery. Ladd forward to Galton. Zinsberger is there.
Well marshalled really by...
Well, she's not going to go down there, Zinsberger, unless there's an issue, because Arsenal can't afford to waste time.
J'agree. I think she's taken off. I was going to say, well marshalled by the defence of Arsenal, because it didn't really turn into anything of note chance-wise. And just as she's pushed off to come forward, Zinsberger, she felt something. Jem Beattie, excellent. You said she's missed the last couple of games for Arsenal. But having seen her start today, you would have expected Jonas Eidevall to have wanted her to be starting in the Champions League game at the weekend.
Well, that fifth substitution might have to be rethought. Jonas Eidevall and Arsenal. We do have two goalkeepers on the bench. You would think it would be Sabrina D'Angelo, who has deputised for Zinsberger in the last two league games, as Zinsberger rotated and rested for those.
Well, gloves off. She's holding her ankle, but the gloves back on.
Well, no significant movement so far on the Arsenal bench, and Zinsberger will continue for now.
And Manchester United, I'm seeing that. I'm having a pop if I can. So I don't think they've scored from inside the box this season, Manchester United. This could be the time.
Yep. Efforts from range. Not quite on the menu for Manchester United this season. Strong challenge there on Rachel Williams, and that is Rachel Williams to a T. Gets straight back up, and it's Jem Beattie who stayed down for Arsenal and continues to stay down for Arsenal. Manchester United playing on for now, but referee Abigail Byrne has stopped play.
Well, over the many hundreds of matches these two will have faced up against or played, they'll have had encounters like that aplenty. Two hard-knock players, centre forward, centre half. Hope Jem Beattie's all right, but I think she's motioning to her head as if she was kind of slam dunked on the floor. See, she sort of ends up face planting on the floor as she tries to wrap her leg round to make a tackle. Rach Williams leans in, gets her off balance. And we have to take every precaution to ensure that Jem Beattie is okay to continue, because we don't see that last phase where her head plants into the floor from that angle. But if there's any whiff of concussion, then the player is what needs to be looked after. Checking her shoulder, her right shoulder as well. It's an awkward twist, wasn't it?
Well, she is up to her feet, Jem Beattie. Certainly a tough competitor.
She's been through worse, as Jem Beattie.
Yeah, remarkable story that she has. Returns after recovering from cancer a couple of years ago, and again a player that it's just a joy to see her back out there on the pitch, given what she's been through.
Her dad's a rugby player, so he'll have appreciated that flooring there.
Here come Manchester United with Ladd. Williams. Once more Rachel Williams to Galton. It is getting to that time where Manchester United's through Blundell just need to keep hold of the ball. His side 7 minutes plus added time away from becoming only the third team to do the double over Arsenal in WSL history. Manchester City have done it twice, Chelsea have done it twice. Will Manchester United add their name to that list, and more importantly, move 6 points clear of Arsenal in the WSL table? They've got a corner.
Spin of the smallest a fraction of brush of her shin pad off of Van White between her legs. But this, Katie Zellem, this could go straight in.
Yep, she's done it before, several occasions. It's looping. Williams was in there. Arsenal will bring it away. Alti down. Scrapping with Mannion. Taylor is in there as well. The free kick eventually does go the way of Arsenal. Now you wonder if Mark Skinner would have been a little concerned about Lia Valti just playing that straight into Anabatia there. But she does have the patience to wait, and Arsenal work it out to the right-hand side. Ruben Moy. Blackstenius with the header. Taylor. Big shout for handball against Batia, and it's given. Free kick to Arsenal. Very good position. Yellow card for Anabatia. And is this the chance for Arsenal to get back on level terms?
And do you know what? Just less than a minute earlier, when Lia Valti was trying to take that free quickly, it's the referee who probably stopped Anabatia getting a yellow card by making a step back. And to then get a yellow card just a few seconds later. Anyway, it is what it is, and it's a great chance for Arsenal.
Well, it does strike her arm. I think Batia was saying that her arm was fairly close to her side. But the decision is free kick, and they have some players that can score some crackers from this distance. Two of them are over the ball, Leonardson Mornham and Steph Catley.
If they were on, it could have been Kim Little or Katie McCabe.
In their absence, who will step up? It's Leonardson Mornham. It's a chance gone.
Disappointing. When you've had a good nibble in that first 15-20 minutes, Arsenal look the more likely to score, and as Manchester United have ridden that storm, this was a really gilt-edged opportunity.
So double change for Manchester United, and big cheers for Nikita Parris. Set up the goal for Alessia Russo, the goal that, as it stands, has Manchester United heading 4 points clear at the top of the Women's Super League. She will be replaced by Martha Thomas. She's done her parts against her former club.
Yeah, that beautiful bit of textbook wing play, wasn't it? Getting herself free, 1-2, down to the touchline, cutting it back.
So Martha Thomas is on, the Scotland forwards. And Ella Toone will be replaced by Millie Turner. And I think that tells us, Rachel, exactly what Mark Skinner's trying to do. See this one out. It's a huge 3 points for Manchester United, if they can hold on.
Yeah, 5 at the back, 3 of those central. Millie Turner, Aoife Mannion, Naila Tissier. Ella Toone tried to push on and beat. More attacking for Manchester United. But Rachel Williams is the one leading that line now.
Free kick goes the way of Manchester United. Katie Zellem down.
Manchester United have got experienced players who will know how to see this game out.
Forward by Williams. Galton dispossessed just on the edge of the area. Maritz, Leonardson Mornham. Stannis had made the run. Turner is there. Wubben-Moy there ahead of Williams. Now Zellem. Galton will chase and get there. Ricochets kindly for Arsenal. Moritz back to Wubben-Moy. Well played by Lotta Wubben-Moy. Good work by Galton.
It's a matter now, Manchester United using their experience and their togetherness to see this game out. Arsenal getting more desperate in these last 5 or 6 minutes of injury time. And with that, gaps will come out.
Away by Mannion. Over the head of Zellem, but it will fall kindly for Manchester United, but they know anywhere will do. But we will have a significant amount of added time at the end of this second half due to further stoppages. Is there still time for Arsenal? Seven minutes of added time. That's how long Arsenal have got. That's how long Manchester United have got to hold on.
It's about right. We've had loads of substitutions, injuries, yellow cards.
Taylor up there for Arsenal, loses out, forward by Zellem, and here is Martha Thomas. Rachel Williams in the centre. Thomas, head down. Doesn't keep it in, according to the official. Cleared away by Letitia. Rachel Williams making a nuisance of herself. Thomas. Williams once more, good challenge. Thomas. Battier. Thomas once more. The Olays coming out from the Manchester United fans. Battier's delivery. Too much on it for Galton. Forward by Moritz. Space for Wubben-Moy to accelerate into. It's a decent ball to find Pelova. Leonardson Mornham. Still going, Arsenal. Manchester United almost getting themselves into a real mix at the back. Pelova. Moritz. Taylor's in there. Earps wasn't sure. Goal kick.
Oh, Manchester United's backline can breathe again. In the end, it's a brilliant interception or a brilliant block from Aoife Mannion. See here, Katie Zellem's trying to shield the ball out for it to go out for a goal kick, but she just dawdles on it. And thankfully, Aoife Mannion, who's been rock solid at the back, it's been such a good team performance.
A good team performance, but she is your player that stood out just above the rest, Rachel Brown-Finnis.
Indeed, yeah, my Barclays Women's Super League player of the match today is Aoife Mannion. She's been outstanding, she's been organised, she's led. She made a goal-saving block earlier on in the game where Arsenal looked sure to score. As good as a goal was that block. Well done on your first 90 minutes, Aoife Mannion.
Yeah, it's been a long road back after that ACL injury. But Arsenal do have a corner. Work not done yet for Galton, Mannion and Manchester United. They've been so strong from set pieces, Manchester United. Can they hold their nerve? Wubben-Moy won't latch onto it. Back in for Arsenal. So many pink shirts in there. Blackstenius with the swing. Manchester United clear. Arnaudson Mornem. Ruben Moore wants it. Here is Pelova. Huge moments this in the WSL title race. Goal kick, Manchester United.
Oh, Leah Volti looks incredulous. When you've got targets in the box like Blackstenius, Jen Beattie, great little header from Millie Turner there. Blackstenius, and it's a combination of Katie Zellem and Aoife Mannion once again who stop the danger.
Playing her part right until the end, Aoife Mannion. Manchester United less than 3 minutes away. Still Arsenal try and put on the pressure. Pelova wrestled to the ground there by Henna Blundell.
There's been no love lost in this contest at all from the first minute. That's how it should be, everything at stake today. Henna Blundell, another player carded.
Yeah, but it was more of a rugby tackle than anything else.
It's been on the receiving end of a couple, I think, tonight as well, Henna Blundell.
Arsenal running out of time. Pink shirts on the move. Raffaelli in there, but too much on it. And they've got the height to cause, or try and cause, Manchester United problems. Raffaelli foremost amongst those.
Yeah,
they just can't find the deliveries, Arsenal.
It's the frustration. You've got Jen Beattie, Raffaelli, Ruben Moy, Jodie Taylor, Blackstenius. All excellent in the air, all difficult to mark. Just didn't get the service. It's been that final ball for Arsenal that hasn't quite been good enough tonight to unlock Manchester United.
Jodie Taylor tussling with Bhatia. Bhatia gets the decision for the home side. But these sort of performances, and if they can hold on, these sort of results, this is the level that Manchester United have reached this season, that they haven't reached before, and this is the level they need to be at if they are to find that first major trophy, be it the league, be it the FA Cup. Got a huge chance in both.
Absolutely, and to not only match the likes of Arsenal for well over 90 minutes, but to, as it comes to the final few seconds, surpass and topple teams like Arsenal. They're as good, if not better. And the top of the league shows you've done it all season.
Seconds to play. Is there time for one last Arsenal charge? Has to be now. Pelova looking to turn Blundell and does get past her. Pelova's ball in. Arsenal corner. And who's back there once again for Manchester United? It's Aoife Mannion.
Brilliant positioning near post. Exactly what Mary Earps in goal would want. Cutting out that drilled ball. And last throw of the dice.
And Zinsberger's up from the back.
Should have dodgy angle a minute ago.
Now or never for Arsenal. Big punch by Mary Earps. Zinsberger! What a story that would have been. But it's Manchester United's night as the full-time whistle goes. They hold their nerve in the WSL title race. A huge victory against rivals Arsenal. Sends them 4 points clear at the top of the table. And is this to be the year that Mark Skinner's side finally pick up that first major trophy in their history? They're on the edge of glory, they're edging closer. There is still work to be done, but they've done the work this evening at Leigh Sports Village. Courtesy of the goal from Alessia Russo, they beat Arsenal by 1-0.
They've had the craft. You can see the well-rehearsed build-up play that's been drilled into them by Mark Skinner and his coaching staff. time after time at Carrington. They put on a gritty, determined, but ultimately superior quality performance tonight. And this is right at the end. As much as I would have loved to have seen a goalkeeper score a worldie volley in the last dying seconds, I'm glad that Mary Earps got another clean sheet. Only 9 goals she's conceded. Her and her backline have conceded that season. You're seeing in Wilcock, the goalkeeper coach there. Well done, Manchester United.
They become only the 3rd team in WSL history to do the league double in a season over Arsenal, joining Chelsea, joining Manchester City. Will they join them in terms of a title? They've never done it before, Manchester United, but they're in pole position as we head for the final few weeks of this thrilling WSL season. It finishes at Leigh Sports Village. Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Vicky. As you can see, smiles on faces, on all the Manchester United faces there, and coach Mark Skinner. Farrah Williams and Gilly Flaherty alongside me on this one. Huge, huge points there for Manchester United, Farrah.
Massive 3 points. It keeps them at the top of the table, and you know, as players collectively having the points on the board at this stage is far more important than it is being in a chasing pack. So I'm sure Mark Skinner will be reminding his players, look, we've got the points now, 4 more games to go, and if they win them, they put themselves in a great position to be title contenders.
And that's the thing, at this stage in the season, Gilly, sometimes it doesn't come down to having a great performance, it's about getting the job done.
Yeah, and I mean, listening to Man United fans over the course of the season, they've not really been particularly happy with some of the performances. But, Joe, you're in an FA Cup final, you're challenging to win the WSL, you're sitting currently top. There's not much more you can do, really. And sometimes it ain't about doing all the pretty football, it's just about getting the result. And sometimes you've got to grind out these games like they've done tonight.
I think that's the difference with this Manchester United team this year, and something that I feel the players and certainly Mark Skinner would have learned from last season. As Gilly said there, it's not about always performing, but the more important thing is about getting the points. Tonight, Man United wasn't at their best against an Arsenal team that was depleted in terms of injuries, but they got the points, and that was the most important thing for this team. Today, I reckon that would have been what the message was going out before kick-off today.
Yeah, and as you can see, the fans were clapping their goal scorer, Alessia Russo. And you've got the Arsenal manager right there, Gilly. How gutted will he be, especially with the injuries, the performance?
Yeah, and I think coming off the back of obviously the big win they had against Man City as well, which people were sort of expecting City to win it, obviously, when they went 1-0 up. But, I mean, he'll be disappointed to come here tonight and obviously not get the result. But you've got to look at the bigger picture. Obviously, they've had a lot of injuries. They lose Leah early on in the game. You know, obviously, they're missing Kim. They're missing Caitlin Ford, who I think was a big miss for them tonight because of the pace she offers up front. But they'll go again. Obviously, they've got a huge game on the weekend, you know, to look forward to now.
OK, well, let's head straight over to Jo Curry because I believe she's got the player of the match with her.
I have indeed. Aoife Mannion, huge congratulations on that result. Just put that win into words for me.
There's absolutely no words for that win. My voice is gone a little bit, actually. I was just saying today, every part of my body is cramping. I'm just so glad that as a team we managed to get the result and we got over the line.
It might not have been the best of performances, it might not have been the best of games, but your team got the job done. Is that the difference with United this year, that even when you're not playing your best, you're still winning games?
Hopefully. I mean, it was a game of 2 halves. In the first half, it really felt like we could get into a rhythm. Lo and behold, then in the second half, everything changed. To be fair to Arsenal, they had us on the back foot, and we felt towards the end that we were hanging on to that lead. But in the first instance, we did think we deserved it. Those last 5 minutes, I can't tell you how they felt. I was looking in everybody's eyes and just going, come on, let's just get this out. And, you know, there we go. Sometimes in football, it works, and today is one of those days.
And for you personally, it's been a long road back. You've been a year out. It's your first, start for Manchester United. You've played 90 minutes, one of the toughest games of the season, and you're also the Barclays player of the match. Just put that into words for me.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I must say, my body was hanging on towards the end. I'm delighted personally. I said to our comms guy, I need to get this interview out the way early because I'm going to start crying. So I'm just really pleased, and thanks very much.
Look, let the tears flow. Congratulations. Enjoy your moment.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, Joe.
What a great interview that was. Well, look, here are the results for you, confirming that 1-0 win for Manchester United and a massive win for Brighton there, 3-2 against Everton. Right, let's have a look at both ends of the table then, because it's been a big night in the WSL. Manchester United now on 44 points. Yes, they have played more games than Chelsea and Arsenal there. Arsenal now 6 points off the top, Farah. And as we just showed you, Brighton now off the bottom.
Yeah, I feel I'm a little bit disappointed. I don't know who does the fixtures and who organises the fixtures, but we've got 2 English teams in the semi-final of the Champions League. For me, whether it be the FA, I'm going to put it out there, I don't know who do the fixtures. They could have helped Arsenal out tonight. This fixture for me didn't need to be played tonight. They got a semi-final at the weekend. Chelsea haven't got a game this week, so that's great for them. They can prepare fully for the whole week. They've got to go away to Wolfsburg, this Arsenal team, off the back of travelling up midweek to Manchester. I think that's a little bit disappointing, a little bit harsh on these Arsenal players that have done so well throughout the season, and now they see themselves 6 points behind the top of the table, Man United.
And that would be the gutting thing, losing players once again. They were already depleted coming into this one. But we'll come back to that, because let's give the praise to Manchester United and actually how they got the points, Farah, with the goal.
Yeah, they were clinical. I think their goal was really clinical. They did it right on the last kick of the first half, which really probably put Arsenal into a position coming out in the second half. But you can see from here, the disjointed back line, myself and Gilly spoke about it. It's great play here from Nikita, and we'll break down the goal. It's a really good cutback, and Russo puts it away. But Gilly, you can talk us through the back line when we see the replay of it and how the back line was so disjointed here.
Yeah, well, you had obviously Maritz and Walty seem to have switched positions, and then obviously Maritz steps out and obviously Walty fills in, but you don't need to do that. You just wait while the play is happening that side. You just need to stay in your position, and obviously then Vin Reuter on the right-hand side is playing them all on, just deeper than the whole of the back line. But obviously Keys does really well as well, because she looks up and she picks up the edge of the box, Alessia on the edge of the box, where she could have potentially just whipped that across the box, but she picks her out, and obviously it's a great finish. But Arsenal caused that their own problems by being disjointed and that lack of communication.
I think that's what happens sometimes. I think the back line, as you mentioned there, was so disjointed. They're then trying to recover. Nikita's run in behind, so they're desperate to get back in to a good defensive position. But in doing that, they left space in front to allow Russo just to come onto it. But it was a great pick out from Nikita Parris.
Because that's a huge thing. You see so many times, Farah, players getting into those wide areas, and it all comes down to decision making. And actually, before that goal even went in, you were talking about a lot of unforced errors and picking out the wrong executions at times.
Yeah, and we just heard Aoife Mannion talk there in her interview at the end of the game that it probably wasn't Man United's best performance in terms of the quality going forward, but they had that one moment of quality just on the half, and they got their goal from it.
Okay, you can see Mark Skinner going down the tunnel right there. But actually, we have the goal scorer joining us right now. Alessia Russo, a huge congratulations. Thanks. A goal, massive 3 points. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, buzzing. I think these are the games that mean so much. I think obviously Arsenal are a top side, and these games are so important to us. And now, till the end of the season, every 3 points counts, and this was a big one tonight.
What was the message from the manager coming into this one today?
I think we just wanted to go out there and be positive and show what we can do. I think often years before, maybe we've not backed ourselves against the top teams, and I think this season we've grown so much, and we go into these games knowing how good we are.
Well, you've just done the double over Arsenal this season. Not many teams have done that, Chelsea and Manchester United. You now join that group. But let's talk you through the goal. Well, you talk us through the goal,
I
please.
don't really remember too much of it, to be honest.
We're going to show you right now. So it comes through to Nikita Parris, who came back into the side today.
Yeah, great run.
And then you finding some space.
Yeah, I think obviously when Keats gets in a 1v1, I want to try and get in the box. I think we have really direct, powerful wingers. So I just want to try and get in the box, and it was a great pick out from Keats. And I seem to always be falling over when I shoot at the moment, but I'm just glad it hit the back of the net.
Russo, we normally see you making that run that Goldwyn's made. Did you hang out because you saw that run that took the defenders away, and did you wait in that space for the ball to be coming back to you?
Yeah, Keats often finds the pullback, so I their back line dropped quite heavily, so I just kind of hang around on the edge of the box, which is normally where our 10 would pick up, but it broke quite quickly, and I just thought I'd hang back and was fortunate enough to get the ball.
Do you work differently off either wingers? So depending on who's playing, whether Nikita on that side, she likes the cutback, but obviously Galton on the other side, a little bit different, like the intricate passes.
Yeah, for sure. I think I like to think that we've got a good relationship with all of our wingers because they're all so different. Lucia's super powerful and quick. Leah likes to whip a powerful cross the top.
Stop giving the tactics away.
No, yeah, I'm shutting up now. But yeah, Keats is clever. So yeah, no, it worked out tonight.
Okay, well look, you've got a huge run into the end of the season, a cup final to look forward to. What's the message from the manager now then?
Yeah, buzzing. I think tonight we were just really proud. We've had a heavy week coming off international to go into the FA Cup and then this game tonight, but I think credit to all the players and staff. Everyone was fit and healthy and ready to go, and now we recover and get ready for Villa.
Is there an excitement and a buzz amongst the players? What are you talking to about each other?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's always a buzz in our changing room. I think we have such a good group of girls and the team dynamic's really special, and I think that shows on nights like this when it gets a bit tough. We all know we've got each other's backs.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. A
Thank
huge
you.
congratulations
Thanks.
once again.
Cheers.
See you later. You can pass that to us. We'll pass the mic over. See you later. Julie, so humble and laid back there, but such a huge talent. She showed us during the summer, and she continues to do it all the time.
Yeah, and I think there was probably a lot of pressure put on her in January after all the talk about her moving potentially, and you know, she's been a bit of a frustrated figure as well in some games. Obviously, she's had a couple of chances against Brighton. Obviously, she gets the goal, but she did have a couple of chances beforehand. But what I like to see is her movement now. I think potentially at the start of the season, I know obviously playing against her, she sort of sometimes was a bit static in the box. She was already in there before the cross had come in. But now you're watching her where she's peeling off a centre-back. So as a centre-back, that's one of the most difficult things when you think you've got a forward and then the last minute they pull off and you ain't got the time to get there. So it's good to see her developing that side of her game too.
Well, actually, Manchester United, 47 goals this season, Farah, all inside the box. So you can see that's something that they work on. But let's move on to Arsenal, because they were trying to fight their way back into this game, and nearly a big finish by them from an unlucky source.
I was going to say it wasn't one of their strikers. And you can see here, Zinsberger coming up for the corner, last corner of the game. And honestly, maybe she was up there a little bit earlier in the game, they might have had a better chance. But this is a good punch from Mary Earps with a fantastic volley, and it's just inches wide or just over the crossbar from Zinsberger, and you can see her hands in her head. But really good execution from the goalkeeper here. Gilly couldn't do that, could you, Gilly?
No, I wouldn't be able to move that quick either.
But look, Gilly, let's stay on Arsenal, because Farah, you mentioned it. Obviously, they've got a huge game the weekend up against Wolfsburg. Is it about them now forgetting this and having to go into that one?
Yeah, I think it's just about bouncing back. Obviously, they had a fantastic game in the Bayern Munich in the second leg, obviously, when they won that at home. I think the fans, obviously, the travelling fans will be a big push for them as well. It's a difficult place to go, Wolfsburg. Obviously, playing there previously, it is a difficult place, and you're probably unsure at the moment in regards to who he's going to have available, but they've just got to bounce back from this performance.
Farah, are they still have a chance in the title, Arsenal?
Maybe not in the title. I don't think so. I think that's gone for them now.
Delivered a killer blow right there. Okay, right. Before we go, a reminder to join us next Friday for our next instalment in this title race. Manchester United against Aston Villa. That one is on BBC Three, and kickoff is 7:15. And a reminder that it's only just 3 weeks until the FA Cup final at Wembley. Chelsea versus Manchester United live on BBC One. Thank you both for joining me. What a game it is, and we will see you again very soon. It's Advantage Manchester United.
The latest chapter of this gripping WSL title race. And that does not look good. There was a gasp around the stadium. Manchester United, Russo! Good save, Zinsberger. Great block by Mannion. Zinsberger! It's Manchester United's night!
What was the last message you sent?
Say, hey, do you